and welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, we are the Princess and the Sith. My name is Jess.
I'm Nico.
And today we're doing something that we've wanted to do for a long time.
Yeah, we've actually been doing our homework for this one.
Yeah, I love watching ranking videos on YouTube where people rank like their least to favorite movies. I just think it's really interesting to hear people's thoughts and why they don't like a certain movie, why a certain movie's their favorite. So we didn't want to do every Disney movie all in one video because that would be a lot and way too long and very hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to break it up by era. So today we are ranking our least favorite to favorite Disney movies of the Renaissance era.
Mm-hmm.
The animated ones, might I add. Are you excited? Nico, did you think this was hard or easy?
I actually thought this was kind of hard.
Really?
Yeah, especially because when we first looked at it, we did a ranking. And by the time we finished watching all the movies and we looked back at the list, my list had changed a lot.
Yeah, my list changed a little bit too. It was easy, but then there were some here and there that I was like, ooh, do I want to put this one above this one? Like, these two are kind of equal. So I think it's interesting, and I'm excited to dive in.
Now, before we do dive in, just keep in mind, this is all just our opinions.
Mm-hmm.
You may feel differently, and that's
course.
perfectly fine. We're just talking about Disney movies, so it's all good.
And we don't necessarily hate any of these movies.
No.
Like, I don't hate any movie on this list.
I don't either.
Yeah, and this is kind of... to make this ranking, we did a combination of our personal favorites and kind of objectivity, like what we think objectively.
Like, we're trying to keep our opinions a little bit out of it, but at the same time, you kind of can't help it.
You kind of can't help it. So we tried, we're like, this one has a really good story objectively.
All right, they just want to find out what the ranking
is.
is.
They do
right
just want to find out what it is. Okay, coming in at number 10 for me is The Rescuers Down Under.
Same for me.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, well, look at that. We got the same one.
We got the same one. That's right.
I enjoyed this movie. It wasn't like a boring movie. I just think compared to the rest, it doesn't hold up. I don't really think it's much of a rescuers movie. I feel like that kind of was pushed to the side a little bit. The kid was in it the most.
For me, this was a demo in how creative can Disney's animation department get with their animation, because it has some beautiful animation within the movie.
100%.
In terms of story, weak characters, certain things just didn't make sense. Like, they were in Australia and there was like one character that had an Australian accent. So all in all, like, those things weighed down so much, but the animation of this one, I will say, is beautiful. If you've never seen it, watch it at least for that.
I also think this is Disney's most ruthless villain.
Oh, yeah, he's one of them.
I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but there's that one scene at the end where I feel like other Disney villains would be like, dude, you went way too far.
What's wrong with you, man?
Yeah.
So watch it for that, but otherwise...
Alrighty, so I think there's 9 movies, so ranked at number 8.
No, I think there's 10
Oh,
movies.
there's 10, never mind. Oh, there was 9 in our first, because we forgot Rescuers Down Under the first time around. So, coming in at number 9 for me is Pocahontas. What about you?
This is probably controversial. Don't hate me. The Little Mermaid.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
So I'll start. Pocahontas for me is a great movie. I love Pocahontas as a character. I think she's so wonderful, such a role model. I love the visuals. The animation is beautiful. The music. Oy, the music. Colors of the Wind and Just Around the River Bend and Savages all in one film. Like, that's epic. But I think the thing that put it down for me is I do think it's kind of forgettable. I don't know. I'm not super excited about it all the time. I would rewatch it anytime, but it would never be like a first choice or a second choice or a third choice and so on. But it is like a really fantastic film, so that's why it's there.
Okay, so I chose The Little Mermaid because after rewatching it, I have to say, I love the music. One of the best Disney soundtracks. But for me, there's lots of things that do bring it down heavily, such as the characters. Everyone in this movie is quite selfish, and I don't like any of them rewatching it. That goes for Ariel, that goes for Triton. Sebastian just wants to keep his job, it seems like. Flanders totally guppy, I don't care what he says. And Ursula, she doesn't even plan anything. Like, all this kind of happens to her on accident. So, yeah.
She took an opportunity.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. It's just... Rewatching it it brought it way down on my list, way down. So
You were very angry.
I wanted to like it a lot more. So the music is great. That's the best part about it.
Shout out to our family lawyer who loves The Little Mermaid.
Yeah, well.
Oh
well.
Oh well. Oh. We'll get there. Alrighty. So coming in at number 8 for me is Hercules.
And for me, I put Pocahontas.
So I put Hercules. It's really funny. I never watched Hercules as a kid. It really, honestly, it was one of the first movies we watched together when we first got together because he always loved it. And I think it's a good movie. It actually really took me a few times to really appreciate it. I think what this movie does really well is the characters. I really love every single character. Like Hercules, such a Boy Scout, as Nico would say.
Yes,
I love Hades as a villain. Hades makes me laugh out loud. I love Pain and Panic. I love Phil, Danny DeVito. I just think personally for me it's a character movie. I like the music. I like the plot. The story's good, but it's gonna stay in that like category. But okay. I do enjoy the film.
I understand. Mm-hmm. You're wrong.
You're wrong about Little Mermaid. All right, go on about Pocahontas.
All right, so Pocahontas for me, you kind of hit a lot of the main things. One, it's just like a solid good movie. Mm-hmm. Most of the other movies on this list I consider better than it, and not necessarily that Pocahontas is bad. It just kind of in that forgettable category. Like, oh yeah, this is a movie and it's good. The songs are good. The animation is beautiful. Mm-hmm. You can care about Pocahontas as a character. She is not like Ariel, all right? But at the end of the day, it's kind of like, oh yeah, that's a Disney movie to me. So that's why it kind of lands in this spot.
Yeah.
Like every other movie on this list, I feel more for the movie. I care about the characters more. There's something that
whether
does
it's negative
better.
or positive.
Yeah. And, that's why it's in this spot for me.
I feel that. All right, number 7 for me is Aladdin.
And I have The Lion King at number 7.
Which is too, a lot of people probably be mad that both of these movies are, favorites, that they're so low.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Aladdin is my Disney bae.
I kind of already knew that.
Oh, he's, my favorite prince ever since I was little. So I watched the movie mostly for him, well, I'll be honest here. There's other things. And I love the music. Well, actually, one of my favorite Disney soundtracks is Aladdin. You know, it's funny. I don't really have anything negative to say about Aladdin. I really enjoy it. I really like it. Maybe it's just compared to the others on these lists that it's not my favorite. But I also, controversial, I was never a big Jasmine fan. So, maybe it's because of the whole Aladdin thing. Maybe that's why. I don't really know. But yeah.
Okay, so now on to me for Lion King. I'm sorry that it ranks so low on my list. Ever since I was a kid, I kind of had a bias against this movie because every time Lion King was on, I was like, oh man, why would I be watching this when I could watch Toy Story instead?
And you're wearing a Toy Story shirt.
And I am wearing a Toy Story shirt. So it just shows that I'm already biased. I might have done that because I was thinking about Lion King. Who knows? Anyway, the characters are good. They're not great. Most of the story came from, Shakespeare's works, but whatever. Aside from that, the music is quite good in the movie. The animation is very beautiful. Lots of notable scenes. It's just, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of this movie. I'd watch it before I watch Pocahontas again. I'll say that. But again, I think for me, it ranks above Pocahontas because I like the animation and the music more. Not necessarily because I think it's much better than Pocahontas. So.
Okay, I can see that. Alrighty, so now for me, I feel like I'm getting into all the movies that I really love. I feel like anything below this was kind of oh, I like them, they're good. Now I'm getting into these are movies that I will watch at any time. So my next is actually Lion King. And yours?
I have Hunchback.
You have Hunchback.
Yeah.
All right. You kind of went over Lion King. I feel the same. But I really love this movie. I grew up on Lion King. I love Simba, JTT. He's just so charming, so adorable. It's who said this? I totally forgot. I want to give them credit. This is not just a movie. This is a film. This is an epic. You feel things when you're done watching this movie. It hits you. Really hard, so many morals, and it's a masterpiece. I think it's
it definitely has layers to it that a lot of these other movies don't have.
100%. It'll always hold a special place in my heart.
Now, I chose Hunchback because I think this movie is actually quite wonderful. I didn't quite have the nostalgia of watching it when I was a kid because I never watched it when I was a kid. But watching it as an adult, it does hit you emotionally. In some ways, harder than the other Disney movies on this list because it is a more serious movie. The music is quite good aside from that one gargoyle scene, which definitely drops it down a few rankings. I will admit that one scene kind of ruins it. But overall, Claude Frollo is an amazing villain. You feel for Quasi. The story is actually pretty good, and I like that it has a serious tone. So.
Alrighty, so my number 5 is Hunchback. Look at that, we're kind of almost back to back on something.
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
And you?
I'm Aladdin. Well, I'm Aladdin, but number 5 for me is Aladdin.
You're Aladdin?
Am I?
Prince Ali?
I always like Prince Ali more than Aladdin.
They're the same.
Yeah.
He says that, it bothers me. Alright, okay, Hunchback's at 5. I really went back and forth between putting Hunchback in the spot that I have 4. Like 5 and 4, which I'll talk about next. I was really like, they're almost equals for me. I think the only real thing that put Hunchback at this spot was the Gargoyle song, and number 4, the movie doesn't have a song like the Gargoyle song.
Mm-hmm.
But Hunchback will always hold a special place in my heart. You kind of went over it. It's serious, but yeah, it's charming, funny. I love all the characters, love Quasi, really feel for him, like relate to him, and Esmeralda and Phoebus.
Mm-hmm.
And Claude Frollo is my favorite Disney villain. I don't know if I ever like said that before, but he's my favorite.
Really?
He's
Wow.
ruthless, but he thinks he's moral, so that makes like an awesome villain. Hellfire is one of my favorite songs. Topsy Turvy, Court of Miracles. I could go on. Like, this movie makes me gasp, and many like, whoa, this is a kid's movie. How did it get made? Which is awesome, and I love it. All right.
For me, for Aladdin, there's very many reasons to love this movie other than Aladdin himself. But one of the biggest reasons for me is simply Robin Williams' performance as the genie simply takes the movie to a whole nother level. Like, I was enjoying the movie before he got in, but once Genie gets into the movie, it's amazing. So that alone makes it rank so high on this list. The other thing is the music is amazing in Aladdin. So many good sing-alongs in Aladdin. So I really love that movie.
Prince Ali.
Yeah, that's a great song. And he's my favorite version of Aladdin.
Alrighty, for me, number 4 is Mulan.
I have Beauty and the Beast at number 4.
Alright, I was definitely teetering between Hunchback and Mulan, but every single song in Mulan is amazing. The story is amazing. You hold on for like every single second of that movie. I just adore Mulan as a character, and her story started where she was in the beginning, being clumsy and didn't fit in, to being a warrior, and she tried, she trained. It wasn't something she was naturally good at, but she worked so hard and wanted it. Like, that's inspiring. And I love Yao Ling and Jinpo. Like, I love the 3 of them. They're so funny. This movie has it all. Great music, great comedy, great action, makes you laugh and cry. Eddie Murphy. What else more can you want? Like, I love Mulan. I feel like I don't talk about it enough on this channel, but I do love Mulan.
Alright, for me, I have Beauty and the Beast. Now, this is a good movie for so many reasons. I think everyone knows why. But for me, I really love the music. I love the story. I think it has really good character development. I like the whole cast of characters that they have in the movie. And even though maybe at some portions the story is a little bit weaker, I think the characters really hold this one up. And that's why it ranks here on my list.
Alrighty, we're down to the top 3. And my 3 is Tarzan.
So is mine.
Is this the
second time?
The second time?
Yeah, because we both have Rescuers at 10.
Oh, we both had Rescuers. I forgot about that. That was so long ago. Oh my gosh, Tarzan has my heart and soul.
Great soundtrack.
Oh, yes.
And the animation is beautiful.
So beautiful.
Tarzan is a steak of a man. I can respect that.
Suzanne's gonna love that. And Libby.
Yeah. So, what is not to love about Tarzan? Such an underrated Disney movie. I need to move a little bit. Sorry, everyone.
Strangers Like Me is my favorite Disney song of all time. And just Phil Collins, the whole soundtrack is incredible. Tarzan and Jane's relationship, they are an underrated couple. She taught him things.
She did.
He loves her.
She was like the vegetables or the potato to his steak.
If you join our live stream, he likes making these food analogies.
Yeah, like, when you see a thick boy in a Disney movie, he's a peach boy. That sort of thing.
Don't bring that to the YouTube
Anyway,
channel.
so we both love Tarzan.
Oh, we're
That's
obsessed.
why it's at 3.
That's our favorite Disney movie to watch together because we just equally love it so much. Alrighty, number 2. My number 2. This was hard between 2 and 1, but my number 2 is Little Mermaid.
Alright, my number 2, and people might find this surprising, is actually Hercules.
Wow, both of our number 2s are probably surprising.
Yeah, so you go first.
Contrary to him, I love Ariel. She's one of my favorite Disney princesses. He's on the floor. I think I can relate to her because she's a collector like me. She loves stuff and she's so happy about her stuff. And she's just so happy and she's such a spunky character and she's adventurous. And I love Flounder. I always loved Flounder. I love the love story. I don't know. I love this movie. I love mermaids. I love Under the Sea. I love fish. I just love this movie. You know when you love something so much that you're at a loss for words because it's just something that you relate to and love so much? Like I do love Little Mermaid.
Anyway, next is Hercules for me. And Hercules is great for so many reasons. Story is good. The characters... Like, on a scale from 1 to 10, they are a solid 100. Let's be honest here. Some of the best characters are in Hercules. And even if there was nothing else going on, if you just had that cast of characters and they were, like, running around, I'd probably still love the movie because the characters are so great. Music is also top-notch. Like, maybe not the most popular, but to me, I find that there's some of the best sing-alongs. Zero Hero is amazing. The whole soundtrack is amazing. There's so many reasons to love this movie. And
Hercules.
Yeah, Hercules is amazing, but unfortunately he's only number 2 on my list.
Yeah.
And number 1 was even kind of a shocker to me until I really sat and thought about it.
Number 1 for me was not a shocker to me, and it's Beauty and the Beast.
Number 1 for me is Mulan.
I think Beauty and the Beast is becoming one of my biggest collections. I've got all like the little Jim Shores. Like Nico said, I think, and I'm going to go and say this is, for me, the best ensemble cast for a Disney movie of characters that all just click together so well, complement each other. The music, the story is compelling and is just magical. The Beast's transformation, literally and figuratively, is just so heartwarming and epic. But what really makes this movie for me is Belle. She's like my favorite Disney princess. I know I kind of flipped through like 4 of them, but she really is one of my favorites. I think out of all like Disney characters, I relate to her the most, and I think she's just beautiful, and the story is beautiful, and she's so kind and genuine, and it's just amazing to watch. Like I could watch this every day, all day. I love Beauty and the Beast, and Gaston.
Gaston's great.
He's great too.
All right, so for me, Mulan is my number 1 because objectively, I actually, maybe in terms of all of their animated movies, I actually think Mulan is objectively the best Disney animated movie. The best characters, the best character motivations. Mulan is probably the best protagonist / lead out of all the characters in these Disney movies. She definitely has the hardest time. You see her struggle. You see her in pain. You see her succeed. It's very rewarding. And the soundtrack is amazing. Story is great. I don't know if I mentioned that. And maybe the one thing is maybe in some parts the animation didn't age as well as some of the other ones on this list. But other than that, Mulan is a solid A+++ movie.
I love it.
Yeah, it's such a good movie in so many ways. So.
I'll make a man out of you. We always sing that song.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Alrighty, guys. So let us know in the comments down below. Did you enjoy this list? Do you agree with us? Do you really don't agree with us? Let us know. Comment down below. Do your ranking down below. I'd love to see it.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Have a magical day.
May the force be with you.
Bye.
Bye.